So Apple Notes has come a long way since its basic beginnings. For years, it's always been the go-to simple note-taking app, but with some of the recent Apple Intelligence updates, it's really becoming a powerful tool for organizing your life with some new features that you might not even know about. I personally think it does a great job of maintaining its simplicity while also giving you the option to use more advanced features when needed. So today I'll show you how to make the most of Apple Notes. If you're new here, I'm Miles, and on this channel I share the habits, tools, and mindsets that help me live a healthier, more productive, and fulfilling life. If that sounds good to you, consider subscribing. All right, let's dive into things. For this video, I'm gonna be showing you everything on my iPad here, just because I think it's a little bigger and easier for you to see. But don't worry, if you don't have an iPad, the great thing about Apple Notes is that all the features and everything are exactly the same across iPhone, Mac, so everything I'm going to talk about can be applied to any Apple device where you use Apple Notes. All right, so here is Apple Notes. As you can see, the setup is pretty intuitive. We've got the folders here on the left-hand side, and this is a great way to stay organized in your life, is to create different folders, and they make that really easy to do. You can just click this icon, create a new folder. Let's call this one Goals. You can also make it into a smart folder if you want. So if you use things like tags, or if you want to just organize notes created during a certain time period, maybe just checklists, notes with certain attachments, etc. You can basically toggle whatever filters you want and it'll automatically organize notes that fit those filters into this smart folder, which is pretty awesome. And another great thing we can do is actually create subfolders within other folders. So for example, we have this general Apple Notes folder. If I click edit here, we can kind of reorganize our folders very easily. So we can take this Goals folder and drag it onto the Apple Notes folder. And now that has become a subfolder. If we go back here, we can just click this toggle and now we can see that the Goals folder is within that folder. And there's a few different folders that I personally like to make. I have one for core documents, and these are just notes that I reference frequently. So important things like my goals or my vision for the future, or my productivity system, values, any of these kind of core life documents, I'll keep in that folder. And I also like to have folders for my professional life, personal life, and knowledge. So professional is like work-related stuff, personal obviously non-work related notes. And in the knowledge folder, I've put notes I've taken on books, courses, podcasts, videos, that type of thing. All right, let's create a new note. Let's just call this one December Goals. And what you can also do is very easily pin a note to the top of the folder just by swiping like that, clicking pin. You can also hold on it, I believe. And this can really come in handy. Let's say in this folder, we have all our monthly goals dating back throughout the entire year. We probably just want to pin whatever that current month is at the top of the folder. You can also assign tags to notes by just typing a hashtag with any keyword that's relevant, and then you can very easily access notes that have that specific tag. I personally don't use that too much. I like the just regular folder structure a lot better, but I could definitely see that being pretty useful depending on your workflow. You can also search for notes very easily by just clicking in the search bar and typing in any sort of words, and it'll search not just the title of that note, but all of the text within it. You can also search just all of the notes that you have within Apple Notes, which is super convenient and makes it so that even if you have a kind of messy file structure, if you know that you've taken a note on something, it's pretty easy to find it. All right, let's talk about some of the formatting and other tools within Apple Notes. So let me just go ahead and hide this sidebar so we can focus on this. And you can also make a note full screen even further if you really want to lock in and focus. But let's highlight this title at the top, and if we click the A here, we can open up all the different formatting tools, basic things like title, heading, subheading, bold, italics, bullet points, numbers, etc. A recent thing they added is the ability to highlight certain text, which is a great way to stay a little bit more organized and make your notes kind of colorful if you like that. Also, if you format something as a title, heading, or subheading, it automatically becomes a drop down here, so you can kind of toggle this and hide any text underneath. So let's say I type something here like go to the gym daily. Doesn't necessarily have to be blue, you can change that. But as you can see, this December Goals at the top becomes like a toggle, which is pretty cool. Right now, if we click this paperclip up at the top, this is where we can attach different things to the notes. So you can scan text, scan documents, add photos, files, and these features have been around for a while, but they're one of the best parts about Apple Notes. I always use the scan documents feature for things like my passport, driver's license, receipts, anything like that. They make it super easy to just quickly scan the document. You can store it within your Apple Notes and access it wherever you are. But one of the new features that's pretty exciting is the ability to record audio. And this is one of the new things that came with Apple Intelligence. But if I click this, it'll open up this kind of voice memos interface. If we click record, hello, my name is Miles. Today is a good day. This is my daily journal entry. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit pause, done. And as you can see, it's stored that recording within Apple Notes. So if I just click play, hello, my name is Miles. Today is a good day. This is my daily journal. I can listen back to it, but then also it transcribed automatically all of the audio that I said within that voice memo. If you see what I'm getting at here, this can be potentially very powerful as a daily journaling technique, or recording your goals or thoughts or any sort of ideas, dreams. As soon as you wake up, you can quickly record a voice memo. It will automatically transcribe it. Then you can search within your entire Apple Notes for the text that was transcribed within your voice memo, if that makes sense. It's kind of nerdy stuff, but super cool in my opinion. And we can also create some super clean checklists. So if we just select some text like this, hit that icon at the top, and now we have a basic sort of to-do list. You can check things off like this. And I know a lot of people actually like to use Apple Notes just as their main sort of task manager. Just create one pin note and every day update it with your main tasks for that day. It's a great way if you're looking to tune out distractions and just stay focused on just executing tasks. And there's also a setting that you can toggle to automatically sort checked items or manually sort them. So if I have it on automatic, what that'll do is if I check something off, it'll automatically get pushed to the bottom of the list, just like that. It really comes down to personal preference. I could see it being useful either way, but just so you know, there is that setting. I personally like to use these simple checklists for any sort of activity that I repeat on somewhat of a regular basis. So this could be things like my daily shutdown ritual or weekly review, or maybe packing for a trip. I've been traveling quite a bit over the past few years, so it's nice to have a kind of pre-made template where I can easily just check off all of the essentials that I need to pack. And one of the items I always bring with me, not just on trips, but literally anytime I leave the house, is this Moth tripod wallet. It might look simple at first glance, but it's really a powerful accessory for any iPhone user who wants to stay organized. The Moth tripod wallet is basically 3 products in one: a stand to prop up your phone, a tripod for taking high quality photos and videos, and a minimalist wallet to keep your essential cards. It's sleek, functional, and really complements a productive minimalist setup. In addition to the tripod feature, I'll often use it to prop up my phone next to me in standby mode, display my to-do list, or quickly reference one of my notes. I've been using Moth's accessories for over a year now, and they've really become an essential part of my phone setup and everyday carry. Moth is running a big Black Friday sale right now, so if you're interested in upgrading your setup, this is the perfect time. Click the link in the description and use my code to get $10 off the Moth tripod wallet. All right, let's look at some of the other new Apple Intelligence updates within Apple Notes. All right, so let's select some text. I just wrote out a basic daily routine, and we can either click this icon at the top, or you can see writing tools pops up. We click that, and we have a few presets. Proofread checks for, grammatical errors. Rewrite, we can change the tone, make it more concise. Summarize key points, convert things into a list. Table. In this example, I feel like a table would be pretty cool. So if we click this, you can see it takes that and magically converts it into a table. If you didn't like it, you can revert it to the original. But let's say you want to keep it, you just press done and boom, now it's a table. Another example, these are just some notes I wrote out from a recent video of mine on my channel, and I'm thinking we could summarize it potentially. You can see it also pops up down here, Apple Intelligence. We click this. Let's make it more concise. See what that does? Cool. It looks like it made it a little more concise. It did do something weird with the bullets here. Let's go back and try that again. We can revert, and let's say we want to just summarize, or let's make it into the key points. Here it'll pop up, and we can just reference the key points that I mentioned in these notes, and we can copy that somewhere else, or let's say we just want to replace it with the key points. Can very easily do it just like that. So far, these writing tools seem to be working pretty nicely in my experience. It's a good first step in integrating AI into the whole Apple ecosystem, and specifically within Apple Notes. But I'm definitely excited for the features that they're going to release in December, hopefully, which will allow you to integrate ChatGPT. So you can, like you saw the writing tools pop up, I think there'll be a little ChatGPT window that pops up, and you can ask ChatGPT to make changes to your text. You'll also be able to direct the writing tools to make a specific change rather than being limited to just these presets. And another great feature is the ability to lock notes. So let's just create a new note here and call it super secret plans. Awesome. And if we just hold on that note, click lock note like this, it locks the note, and click it here. And as you can see now, the note is locked. Anyone who wants to open it will have to enter your password or use Face ID. I also believe in the settings you can create a custom password just for notes if you don't want people to be able to use your overall device password. I researched the privacy and encryption standards of Apple Notes compared to other note-taking apps because I know that privacy is something that's important to a lot of people. And from what I can tell, Apple Notes seems to have some of the best security compared to any of the other popular note-taking apps. And these lock notes, even when you sync them to iCloud and they're floating around up in the internet, they are still end-to-end encrypted, so not even Apple can access the contents of the notes. All right, let's talk about workflow. And this is where I think just Apple Notes consistently takes the crown compared to other note-taking apps. Firstly, they make it super easy to collaborate on notes. All you have to do on a specific note is just hit the share button and you can text it to someone, you can copy a link, you can send a copy of the note, and they can work on that same note alongside you. You can also share an entire folder, which is pretty awesome. So the same way you share an individual note, you can share that whole folder, and now anytime you add a note to that folder, the people who have access to it will be able to view those notes as well. I personally use this a lot to share things with my girlfriend, so we'll have like a shared folder where we'll put itineraries for trips we're planning, recipes for different dishes, or just general plans that we have. And arguably the best feature about Apple Notes is just how fast it is and how seamlessly it syncs between different devices. So if I need to quickly write something down, Apple Notes is definitely the first place that I go. So let's say I'm out of the house and I have an idea or something that I need to jot down. I can quickly take out my iPhone, use one of the many quick capture features, action button, quick notes, anything like that, capture that idea, maybe record a voice memo. Then I can come back home, open up my iPad or Mac, and that note will instantly be there and I can review it and deal with it as needed. The syncing is way faster than other apps I've tried, and the fact that it works just as well offline keeps me coming back to Apple Notes over things like Notion or other apps. Comment down below how you personally use Apple Notes, or if you don't, what note-taking app do you currently use? Click this video to see how I'm building a healthier, more productive, and fulfilling life. Do something today that your future self would thank you for.